Rogue tanks. Can you believe it? We're gonna see. Okay, so I'm on the rune page for the first time. Okay, we're looking at rogue tanks. I don't even know what you would call them. Combat rogues? No, that's sword rogue. But I guess you could be a sword combat tank. So, rogue tank. Um, let's just jump straight in. So we got Deadly Brew. When you inflict any other poison on the target, you also inflict deadly poison. This is going to be really great for rogues who use instant poisons, of course. And can you imagine being in a druid's group with Wind Fury, having instant poison on both hands, running Deadly Brew? You're doing potentially just so much poison damage, and all these debuffs that I'm seeing, they have to get rid of the debuff limit and the buff limit. They have to, because there's no way that people are going to be able to control the debuffs on the bosses running from deadly poisons, because deadly poison is not good in PvE unless their debuff limit is removed. So I guarantee they're going to remove the debuff limit, 99%. So Deadly Brew, very, very good. But just a flesh wound. This is the tank ability I want to look at. So you take 20% reduced physical damage while Blade Dance is active. Additionally, you have 6% reduced chance to be critically hit by melee attacks. The threat generated by all your actions is massively increased, which basically means you're a Fury Proud Warrior. And your Feint ability is replaced with Tease, which taunts the target to attack you. From what I hear, you cannot use Tease if it's attacking you. You have to wait till it drops off you and then switches back. That's why I think rogues are not going to be as much of a in-game tank that you might imagine. There's not a lot of survivability. They have evasion, they have high dodge and parry, which is great, but I don't know how that'll scale with in-game content. I bet they'll be able to tank like mini bosses like Lucifron, one of the ads, or one of the ads on Gar, or but tanking. Maybe, what would be really cool? Let's think about a fight like Ebenrock, where the off tank taunt has to literally just taunt for the wing buffet. They would be a great person to tank the wing buffet, because it was just being one taunt. You take a hit, you'll take no damage because you'll pop evasion. It'll be perfect. Now you don't have to have a Prout Warrior on the side or a Fury Prout Warrior just sitting there and not doing anything. You can have the Rogue attacking the whole time, and then he can go over, taunt it, evasion, take no damage, wing buff it, right back to the main tank, me. That's perfect. So right now, I'm thinking about all the bosses and mechanics right now that I could use a Rogue tank on right now in Era, so I could give you an example. So that's very good that Rogues can be tanks. Quick Draw, obviously it's a PvP thing. Could be used for PvE, but it's pretty much PvP only, obviously. That you would run Deadly Brew over Quick Draw every single time, unless it was a specific circumstance encounter where you had to kite mobs or something like that, and there's other classes for that. So Deadly Brew, PvE, just a flesh wound, PvE, but utility tank. Okay, perfect. Let's move forward. Oh, then you have Slaughter from the Shadows. I think this is pretty okay, but we're going to have to see. Glove Runes, Mutilate, really great. It's exciting. Shadow Strike, you teleport behind your target. Not really a PvE item, because you have to be in stealth, and you're not really in stealth a lot when you're in PvE. So, Saber Slash, there's not enough information to know what it's about. I think this is the tank ability, to be honest. Saber Slash, because it puts a bleed on the target. And there's a lot of bleed stuff that they're adding to the game, like Mangle from Druids, which increases bleed damage on the boss, which increases rogue damage and warrior damage. So something to think about. All these classes are playing a synergy for bleed damage. I think there's going to be a big bleed expansion here. So bleed and poisons, as we see. But Main Gosh is a pretty good one too. Saber Slash is great for AoE tanking as a rogue. That's the only AoE thing that I could see. But I don't know if it's going to work like a cleave. But the Main Gosh, or whatever, Gauche, is definitely the main tank ability. Okay, Leg Runes. So we've got Between the Eyes. That's a ranged kidney shot right there. Definitely PvP. Then we got Blade Dance. This is the tank ability. Finishing move that increases your parry chance, lasts longer and grants more parry chance per combo point. So immediately when you start tanking, you have to do one combo. They're going to be swords, I'm sure of it. So combat sword, and you're going to want 2 slow swords as a rogue tank, because it's based on, it's not based on weapon speed, it's based on weapon damage. And main gosh, look at that. Offhand weapon damage, increase your chance to parry. So you're gonna want 2 slow weapons as a rogue, which is very interesting, and I kind of like that. But as soon as you hit the boss, you're gonna immediately want to get Blade Dance up, and that's why rogues are, in my opinion, similar to Brewmaster monks with keeping up shuffle, because you would use Keg Smash and then Blackout Kick for 4 seconds of shuffle, and you would just keep blackout kicking when you would get jab combo points, and then you would re-put up your shuffle, and you just stack a shuffle like a minute high. So I'm thinking with this, you could stack Blade Dance 5 combo more than 30 seconds. I'm actually hoping that you can go over 30 seconds, because you can build 5 combo with a Blade Flurry or with an Adrenaline Lush really quick. And if you have 30 seconds, and if you could stack that up to 45 seconds and keep stacking it, then you can be a lot more offensive later in the fight. And in the beginning, you could stack up Blade Dance. It's going to be interesting to see. But could you imagine a rogue off tank building up Blade Dance as an off tank, and then he taunts, and then he has like 2 minutes of it? Imagine the survivability, because so rogues could be very utilized in game if they play right. And I think they're similar to the way Brewmaster monks work, which is a high skill cap, and especially if you understand early how they're going to work. I think they're going to be a pretty good tank. I don't know how they'll end up later. I need to see cooldowns. They need survivability. Where's their last stand? Where's their shield wall? Where's their ability that allows them to really survive? Evasion's cool, but it's a 3-minute cooldown like shield wall. Is it enough? I don't know. We're going to have to see. Very interesting. Something to think about.